Welcome back to the WODprep podcast. I'm your host, CJ DePalma, with the better co-host, Claire Bays. Good morning.
The better. We shall see. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Good. Um, yeah, there's a lot of people
I
talking already.
know.
Good morning, everyone. What's up, chat? Slater, Avera, Vicky, Kenneth, Clydesdale, Jody, John, more Vicky, Aaron, Sean.
It's awesome.
That's not a bad pick, Sean. I am still tired. So just so you know, Claire, at this time of the year, we just randomly talk about fantasy football on Fridays. It's just
Okay.
kind of how it works.
Works for me.
Um, that's what we did last year, at least. Man, what a week! How are you feeling?
I still feel out of routine, even though I got back, I think, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It's Friday, and I still feel completely out of routine. But
Yeah.
I mean, good.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm just like surprised that I'm not back in the swing of things. But anyway.
Yeah, Ben is getting ready to leave for his elk season.
Yeah.
And so we have a crazy amount of momentum right now. Like Ashley and Nelson it's nuts. They're selling really well.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Heck yeah. Post games,
it's nuts.
Let's go.
We are, but I'm taking over all the onboarding calls. I have meetings from 9 a.m. nonstop with maybe 2 15-minute gaps till 4:30, like back to back to back.
What? What's the length of those calls?
30 to 45 minutes.
Okay, so you block 45 minutes for it, and then if you get done early, that's cool.
Yeah, they're not all onboarding calls. Some of them are actually like work meetings. But yeah, me and Ben, like, we do like a daily to-do list, and so his is usually pretty long. And I was like, I made a commitment for them at least a month, to like do because I never put it in, because mine's like the same. It's like write programming, do the podcast, write more programming. But like now that I have things that like apply to other people, I like committed to Savannah helping me get it done. And Ben was like, I think we're just competing for the longest list. And I'm like, your list is going to be killable in like 4 days. So it's fine. Anywho, yep. Good morning, Jenny. Jenny, are you and Grant beefing? Is that what's happening? What's happening?
It looks like she's over it, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Grant. So fun fact, Grant doesn't get over anything. Like,
and I don't know him at all.
Yeah. He's a really good guy. I like Grant a lot. He's just hyper obsessive. Who's Grant? Exactly. All right.
Over it. She's like, on to the next.
Oh, Grant killed. Aaron, booth paying off. Yeah, we have. Yeah, it did. It was really good.
Yeah, I will say I'm doing the ring muscle up progression in the app now. So you guys is all your different skill courses. I'm doing your skill course for the ring muscle up specifically.
Cool.
After watching that go ridiculously well, after watching Ben coach people all weekend, I'm like, okay, I have no excuse.
Right. Have you ever done a muscle up?
Ring? No.
Yeah. No?
I mean, I just literally haven't given it sufficient effort. I will say that. I just kind of, anyway, there's no good excuse. So we'll fix it.
Yeah, it's
and I say there's no good excuse. I think a large part of that was lack of belief in self, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Just before we get started, Miami is going to absolutely shit on Notre Dame, and it's going to happen. Carson Beck is going to throw for 400 over the Irish Saturday night. I don't want to hear anything else. We're not going to talk about it because I'm going to get way too hyped about it. We got to focus on CrossFit. So Miami's going 2 for 2 with Heisman's, baby. Beck's going to be in the Heisman hunt, 100%. We're going to see it Saturday. All right, I'm done. Me and CrossFit talk a lot. CrossFit has the craziest breadth
of knowledge.
He does. It's insane. But
yeah,
his football knowledge for sure means he's in the Southeast, because like he knows SEC and ACC football really well. And the only people that do that live. So I've got like, I think he lives in Alabama. Pretty sure he lives in Birmingham, but I don't know who it is.
God, this has gotten creepy.
It is, but like,
Yeah.
like these weird. So, anyways, we'll figure it out.
Jay Birch. Oh wait, pulled the wrong one. Jay Birch said that it's his first time doing fantasy football. It's so fun.
Oh man,
I'm not doing it this year, but
we
I
draft.
thoroughly enjoy it.
We draft Sunday. Morning, Terry. Terry was there. Did you meet Terry?
Not that I'm aware of.
Silver hair, hung around the booth.
Terry, did I meet you?
Maybe. Terry's my athlete. She'll be in the 70 division next year at the games for sure. She ages up.
Hell yeah.
Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Christian. All right, I think we said morning to everyone. Yeah, my I'm still recovering for sure. I got a couple decent nights of sleep, which was great. But it kind of turned into like, oh, here we go. Let's start this new schedule. So
I will say with your schedule, I was on a call yesterday with the MCs for the Summit Games here in like 2 weeks. And the owner of that, well, the first time I'd had a conversation with him, and he said kind of one of the themes of the event is like how grateful we should be to be sore from a workout of our choosing. And so you could like take and apply that to your new schedule.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I don't ever complain about having a lot of work.
No, and that's not what it sounds like.
The only time I complain about getting a lot of work when none of it is financially improving my situation. That I don't like. Yeah, I think I'm at that point in my life where like where let's try not to take on too much work. Yeah, it's like very hell yeah or no. Have you read that book? Hell yeah or no?
I have not.
Oh, it's a good one. I'll send it to you. It's like a bunch of short stories. They're all just like half a page or one page.
I don't need to write it down. You're going to send it?
Yeah, I'm going to send it to you.
Great.
Yeah, it's a really good one. Ben sent it to me, and you get to a point in life or business where it's like I've I feel like you're sort of in this like MC role. It's like everything's almost a yes, right? Like almost immediately, but you're getting. I feel like, and this isn't like me talking down to you or anything, but like we get to a point where it's like you have to think about it. It's either hell yes or no. But like immediately in business, like early on when I started this, it didn't matter what anyone asked me. Like, can you do this? The answer was yes, even if I had no idea how to do it, right? And so, and I just kind of went with that. Like I taught a little, I did classes, I did seminars, I did pop-up clinics, I did all of these things until I started to find my flow. I coached every athlete no matter what. And now we're at a point where it's like, it's hell yeah or no, right? Like if you're, unless you're super jazzed about it, it's probably a no. It's going to go to someone else. And like you get to a point in life or business or career that you can make that shift. It took me longer than it probably should have, but it's a really good one.
As in, how many years ago do you think you started to feel that way about what you do? Or you noticed yourself doing more of that?
Probably 3. Like the year before Bennett was born, like that whole year while Perrin was pregnant, it's probably when it shifted because I was like, I'm going to play a lot of golf. And I did. I played so much golf. Like I played more probably in like a 2-week span than I've played in the last 2 years. Like I'd go out every morning because I didn't have dad responsibility at 7 a.m. Right. And so it means I could get first tee out. And so if you can get first tee out and walk 9 holes, you can be done in 90 minutes. Like it's just like the whole morning. Now there's no way that's happening. You're getting stuck behind someone. I can't get there till 9:30, 9:45. Right. And so then I'm playing golf till noon. And it's like, now it's like very unpractical. And so that was like then. And so it's shifted now. Now it's hell yeah or no because of the time required to like Bennett or the commitment as a father or whatever it is. And so now it's like that time is like hell yeah or no in the sense of, is it going to take away time? Like, is it just worth my time? Just like overall, like, and that's like all it's based on.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think I already experienced a good bit of that as well, but yeah.
Are they still talking about Grant and Claire? I didn't even watch the video.
No, I haven't watched it either.
All right,
There's been a
that's
lot to catch up on. Being gone for a full week and not consuming as much just because you're in real time doing what you're doing.
mhm,
I'm like, okay, where are we? So
right.
I've of course watched Dense's updates. I've watched a bunch of stuff, but I
I
have
know you watch way
not
more than me. I'm
watched.
so happy.
I definitely try. Yeah, it was funny in one of them. I commented and Ed AI, it was like, "Oh, Claire's doing her homework," and I'm like, "For what it's worth, I'd be on barbell spin at this time anyway,"
Right.
because that was the one that it was on.
Yeah.
But now, just like, I mean, it's funny. You go for so long, just like not adding to the conversation a lot and
Mhm.
consuming, and then you're like, okay, and I guess we're adding now. So
Yep.
I don't know.
Um,
Oh gosh, Jeff was. Do you know what
crazy.
that's in reference to?
Yeah, it's isn't that like a Mexican wrestler? Isn't that like how it's defined with a mask, right?
Yeah, but I think he's specifically referencing Bella went on the Glinton Things podcast this week.
Okay.
And it was a good episode. I thought it was really cool to like her perspective is unique. And so anyway, I enjoyed the episode, but I think I'm assuming what he's referencing because she thought that he was a luchador at some point, which he has not been. No, he does not wear a mask. He's just Jimmy House.
Oh man, that's
I
funny.
will say he was with Booker T last night.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
He would be
I
a
mean,
savage. He would be an awesome luchador, by the way.
Jimmy,
Hmm.
I mean, if that's what it takes, put a
Yeah, for
mask
sure.
on.
You play the role,
But
right?
yeah, I don't know
How
that
does
that's
it
the
work, dude?
direction
So
he'll go.
like I know you come in with your character and all of that stuff, right? Like your general bit, and then like do they have a team that helps you like refine it?
Yeah, I mean, over the course of time, like if you
Sure.
listen to any of those guys talk through it, I mean, everyone has a unique experience. And yet again, I only started becoming aware of how the professional wrestling world works
Hmm.
within the last couple of years.
Right.
So definitely has been like a full, here's the fire hydrant, have a sip.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I think that you do just naturally refine your character, and very much so there are going to be some people who are going to heavily influence that. I mean, if somebody like Triple H tells you, "Hey, do this," like you're probably going to do that, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So
All right, I want to start with Navera brought some good questions and comments to start the chat this morning. So he says, reading between the lines when Froning talks, I wonder if Mayhem would even need to buy CrossFit to take over the CrossFit space. I think Froning has some actionable thoughts brewing. And then the follow-up is whether private equity can achieve a sale or not. Well, it certainly will achieve a sale. CrossFit as we knew it is dead. So I think this is such an interesting statement. I don't I don't know. I mean, I'm obviously like very pro CrossFit not dying, in the sense of its current situation. Um,
well, the methodology not changing. I think that's like I don't know. I mean,
right.
that's
Well,
a huge thing to me. Is like don't
sure.
mess with it.
Right. And I don't think anyone will. I think the whole Malik thing, right? Tyler's on point. If anyone that the community doesn't agree with buys it, like there's going to be a mass exodus, and then it's going to get, it's going to get short sailed for $10 million or whatever it is. It's going to be sold for nothing, right? And I think the name still holds like crazy value, right? And
Mhm.
so no matter what happens, whoever ends up owning it or whatever it may be, if like Tyler's premonition of like the rise and fall of a society, right? Of it'll sell, then it'll fall, and then it will sell back, and then it will sell again to the CrossFit bigwigs, Jason Khalipa, Tia, Rich, right, or Street Parking, or whoever's here, right, whoever has the most money. Um, I, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think the name CrossFit is very important, even to someone like Mayhem, like
Mhm.
like, oh, what do you do? I do Mayhem. And they're like, what is that? Like, why? Like, I do CrossFit, through Mayhem. I do think the name still holds a ton, a ton of value, like overall, right? And so, um,
Well,
I
it does
can't
at this
see.
time because no one's gone in and messed with the methodology, right? So like we've definitely had some like rough years in recent history, and we have such an uncertain future. But like I think it holds a lot of weight because it's still true to what it is at its core. Like the methodology has not changed, right?
Mhm.
And so I think then the value of the name would then shift if that started getting toyed with, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I think it's why I can't see Malik owning it at all. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I just have
That,
no idea.
huh?
Wild hashtag wild rumors. I don't know. I
Yeah,
have no
I mean,
idea.
well, I mean, that was the thing, right? And so he has this idea, and that podcast was like, CrossFit doesn't work, and it's like, well, obviously that's an insane thing to say, and then to try to buy the company, I mean, everyone's just gonna leave,
Well,
right?
yet again, I don't speak French and I didn't listen to all of that, but the idea that it also was like, oh, and it doesn't work for obesity and so on. It's like, like the base of the pyramid is nutrition. And I think it's such an overlooked piece of it and such an, like there's, I mean, it's all the key, right? But like, it's the biggest piece for a reason. Anyway, yeah. Wild thoughts. I don't know.
So we're not discussing the lack of education framework. I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means? Maybe like on the actual teaching side.
I don't know if that's in regards to like seminar
Right. I
stuff.
mean, I do think that is something that is being sort of swept
Yeah.
under the rug. Like seminars are there, and I know, um,
In reference to the education bit.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, um, I mean, I think it's something I've been talking to a really good friend of mine, Danny Soul, and someone I respect probably the most in the space, right? Like if I need like a real unfiltered, like hardcore affiliate opinion, like I'm going to Danny and
What affiliate does Danny own?
Soul in Miami.
Okay.
And his name's Danny Lopez, but everyone knows him as Danny Soul. And so we were talking about, I like posted a puke. He like commented on the pukey shirt and he hates it. He goes, "That's not where it's at." And so he's like he's like an old school band guy.
Mm.
And so like like they make amazing shirts down there, right? They do like a drop like every fucking month, right? And so I was like, just because you guys drop shirts every week that are fire doesn't mean that pukey isn't it. Like pukey's fire. Anyways, and so it got us on a conversation of like where it was to where it is, and so he brought up he feels like the biggest dropped ball is like not hammering the promotion of education as much as we used to. And then ironically, like you commented in our like thing of like um Rich and Mayhem not getting L1s as much anymore and they would sell out, right?
Oh yeah.
You
Well, and
know,
that was on. I
it
sent
was on
you
Savon.
the clip for that.
Hmm.
Yeah, or the timestamp for it.
Yeah, and so basically what was whoever Savon said, right, whatever that guy's name was, that was the director of or
CrossFit.
the
I don't know.
yeah, for sure. And so um it was interesting that that was said by Danny because it's something that like you still see them like Mako almost sells out every time it comes here, um, and so I definitely still think it's there, but it first Jeff Kane, thank you,
Totally.
um, it definitely is less of the driver, and then that also rolls into Tyler's like religion concept, right? It's like it's the education and it's the thing to get behind, and it's like what separates us really, and it creates our culture. Hashtag cult, you know what I mean? And it's like all of those things like are kind of like they're like intermingled, and it's just it's a really interesting one to think about. Um,
Well, and you said culture. I mean, within, let's see here, 2 days ago, CrossFit made a post. And that was kind of one of the things I'm thinking about all of the post games content as they continue to just collaborate a ton and put a ton of stuff out there. Anyway, there's one 2 days ago that is talking all about culture and trying to define what that means for CrossFit and community. Your favorite
right.
word.
Culture. Well, hey, they switched. So we get to say culture now. We don't have to say community. We get to say culture. That's what that whole post was for.
Right.
It's to separate. Everyone has community, but we create culture, right?
I love it.
And so,
and that is special. That is unique. You have
right, it
community
is
literally
unique.
everywhere.
Right, that's the unique
And I
part of
mean,
it.
that's a good thing to have. I'm not knocking it, but
Yeah, for sure.
Making yourself different to some degree, which we all know if we're here that it is.
Yeah, and so, I mean, maybe it does start in education over everything, right? And like that's where we build our like what ties our apostles. You know what I mean? Like that's like where we build like our the people that are going to go out and spread the message the most.
Totally.
And so
Well, I think it's hugely important that we're reminded what it is, because it is very easy to get it misconstrued. I mean, like, you get the telephone game going on, right? Which is kind of what happened whenever the media disappeared for a while. And so it was literally just a game of telephone of, what do you think it is, right? And then conveyed 14 lines down, versus this abundance of messaging from CrossFit directly, which is exciting, and I'm just hopeful that doesn't change with whatever happens. Because I think, the education bit, not only through seminars, obviously through seminars, but then also literally through the media and so on. There's so many ways to continue to educate us all. And I mean, I don't know about you, but so there's literature that I study on a regular basis, and I go to meetings and study it weekly. And I've read it many times, right? Like, I need to be reminded.
Sure.
And so being reminded is really helpful. And anyway,
Yeah. Savon, on that, on like the media, Savon brings up a good point. It's like being reminded. We kind of middle managed ourselves into like suffocation, right? And it would take weeks or months to get out whatever the post was, because it had to go and get approved for so many people. And it seems like we've sort of like exited out so many of the middlemen. It's just like Jen is like, someone comes there, it's that idea, she says yes, and it goes out, right? Which I think is super important. It sounds like that's more like ways of the old. And so
it'd be super cool to have a conversation with her, by the way. It would be super cool to have a conversation with her.
I'll just message her.
Just throwing that out there.
All right. I'll message her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that'd be fantastic.
That would be a good interview.
Hell yeah. Yeah, because I mean, she's the name that everybody's aware of at this point, or if you're, whatever. And like, anyway, I'm just curious, like, what does it look like for her day to day? Who all's involved? What are y'all doing? Right. I mean, we see what you're doing, but we applaud.
So I don't forget.
You're messaging her now?
Right now.
Okay.
All right. So Greg expected the Armins to carry the message in media, but if they disagreed or burn out, they were gone or silent. I mean, yeah, I mean, let's be real. Like, what we did worked really well, and then also there were a lot of things that what Greg did didn't work well or were not the right decision, right? I mean, like, completely deleting a 12 million follower Instagram page is crazy. I mean, that's like, I mean, did you hear Savon talking about they wanted to kill the servers? That's insane. I mean, like, that's like absolute death sentence to anything, right? And so it's good that some people were able to stop that, but
yeah, like you guys just deleting your email list,
right?
Like, what?
Oh my God, that gives me the willies.
Yeah,
like, it's just like
here, would you like to light a fire under your entire business and watch it burn?
Yeah, the Instagram page was huge. And yeah, so was the Facebook. Yeah, I mean, it was all right. It's just deleting past. Exactly. Right.
Wait, would this be a good time? I mean, it's not anything too crazy, but speaking of media, to talk about like the differences from July to August.
Yeah.
Are you able to pull that up? What I sent you?
Yep.
Sweet. And I made one of these for July as well. So I have the overall totals for that too. So I made one of these at the end of July for the month of July that just breaks down the YouTube channels within the CrossFit space. I didn't get all of them, but got a bunch of them. And so this exact thing for the month of July, and the totals there down at the bottom. So your views in the month of July were 7,187,000, and subs across those channels was 15,906. And then obviously you can see down at the bottom of August, and mind you, I did this yesterday, the 28th, so there's still a couple days left, but you've got 15.6 million total views. So like double what you had in July, and then 29,390.
What was 3 million views on the CrossFit channel? That's a lot for that CrossFit channel.
Oh, wait. I think the 15,906, I'm sorry. I think that this is made this morning. I knew there was one other number in there that's wrong. The subs for the month of August is actually 29,390. Sorry, that 15,906 is from July. Shit. Anyway, I'll go fix that. Point being, it's relevant.
Yeah.
The one in July was just spurred from the I know, damn it, ChatGPT. Well, I put it in wrong. It's my fault. But anyway, just the conversation about, is it even relevant anymore? And then leading into the games, there was obviously 7.1 is nothing to scoff at as far as views. And then you go 1 month over 15.6. It's a lot.
Be friendly. I love how you put a negative be friendly in there every time.
It just is what it is.
Oh my gosh. I feel like the zeros are like impossible.
I know. Well, and that's from Social Blade, I think. Yeah. And so, I mean, that's just what it says. And of course, I feel like if you look at the rounded off numbers for pretty much, anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
I pulled from Social Blade. That's where this is coming from. And I picked up the subs.
Right.
Thank you, Dents. I will, I'll fix it and share it.
Yeah, it's
and on that list, by the way, Amanda Hari, her last video this past week, talking about going into WFP, and anyway, I thought it was really good. I think her content is consistently really good, and I thought that one.
It is good. My only thought on it is she does it so unedited, right? Like she has very, very little cuts when she does it, and it's I have to watch it on like 3 times speed. I just
allows you to get through it faster.
Yeah. I can. It does. Well, I watch everything on a speed, but she doesn't ever, but she'll like draw. She just like draws out the words, just in general. It's just like me being nitpicky, but she's so clean with it. Her video's so clean. Yeah. She's so smooth, and you can tell she does like no editing.
Media.
It's like it's so consistent, and I bet she only does like 20 minutes of like cutting as far as in whatever she uses. Yeah.
By the way, Kenna said, damn, why aren't people subscribing? I'm assuming that's to the WODprep channel. And if you're not already subscribed, please go subscribe and like this, please. Thank you.
I know. Come on.
It already does have a lot of stuff. Do what?
Really just subscribe to the podcast. Hit that little join button. Pay us $5. That'd be great. We get like $1 of it or something. YouTube takes.
I don't know how any of that works. Sounds great.
All right. Yeah. So, okay. All right. Sale of CrossFit. Scary times. I don't know. I mean, we'll be here. We're still going to do our thing. You know, I think it's, I do think the name holds a lot of value, right? And, I think our glue is something like the Open. I think the Open is very valuable for the continuance of the uniqueness of CrossFit over another fitness methodology, right? And so ironically, Sean, that's not the case. We're actually nuking our affiliate program. Just not going to try and compete with. Go ahead.
Well, by the way, the TDC Week in Review, he mentioned something about wanting to be able to, like someone asked about being able to affiliate garage gyms and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that would give you the opportunity to affiliate.
We would in a fucking like a
correct.
Second, 100%.
Right. So anyway, I was like, it sounded like there's interest there. That would be really neat. I kind of pulled that away, but I heard that and thought of y'all.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. And we are starting to look into like WODprep for skill stuff for gyms to support gyms and skill development for their athletes. And which if with the goal of them to do Mayhem or Cap or .com or program for themselves, and then us support them, because it's so hard to write skill development in an affiliate, right? Like, because everyone's at a different level, it takes a lot of time, it's kind of boring, right? Like, oh, we're going to go through a Tota bar progression, and then we do that once every 6 weeks. Does anyone really get better at Tota bar? And so,
Over the course of a long time horizon, I think the answer is yes. I mean, like, you're going to get better if you keep showing up, but your ability to progress, like, if that's the only setting, is
I mean,
limited by the time you have to give it, I guess.
I think yes, but I
I mean, you
mean,
could still do it.
while like varied, not random is obviously the thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And skill development is different, especially for people that aren't able-bodied as me and you, right? Like we're young, we're healthy, we're strong, and so learning skills, it doesn't take. But I mean, there's someone like if you can't, like you want to do one toes to bar, right, and you can't lift your knees over your hips, right? Like in a kipping, like you need a lot of expression and a lot of exposure and a
Mhm.
lot of touches,
Mhm.
right? And that's really hard. I think so many people just get lost into the like, I call it the no man's land. They come in as a beginner, they make all these gains, they get a lot of attention from coaches, and they sort of fall in the middle of
Mhm.
their ability and like
Mhm.
the expertise within the gym. And then like the highest level athletes get a lot of attention because a lot of the programming is based on them, program for the best, scale for the rest. And then the lowest athletes get attention. And then people get lost in the middle. And then they're like, oh, I want to learn a muscle up. Right. And it's like, well, a lot of gyms don't do a lot of muscle ups. Right. And even if they do, right, it's very, very sporadic.
Mhm.
You know what
Well,
I
and if you
mean?
take it back to the value of the open that you just referenced, like, that's one of the biggest values that the open, I mean, there's so many valuable things about the open, but like that pressure to perform because it's an open workout. And so that then creates a new spark for people to improve their skills or their fitness or whatever
Right.
that maybe they're not experiencing in no man's land day to day. If they are existing there, it gives you a good opportunity to be like, well, do you want to be at this level again here, you know? So that's, I
Oh
mean, I
yeah.
think that pressure that the open provides to level up is very important to what we do.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's extremely important to what WODprep does, but just in general, I've said this forever, right? Like before the open, like double unders were part of the world, right? Like that we're in. But before the open, and because the open, like we wouldn't have moved the needle like in our advancement of skills and strength without the competition aspect of the sport of this world, right? Like the
Mhm.
competition is what moved us from, like what we saw in the games from 2007 and 2010 to what it looks like progressively forward, right? And so it's moved because there's competition. Like if there was no competition inside of this world of CrossFit, inside the methodology, um, uh, we wouldn't. Okay, how do I get rid of that one? There we go. We wouldn't clean and jerk 405 pounds, snatch 315, and do 30 unbroken muscle ups. Like those things wouldn't happen. Yes, people
Mhm.
would be better, obviously, but they wouldn't be as good. There would have been no reason to push the needle that far forward, right? And so it is. I think it's valuable, right? I think it's extremely valuable, and I think they very much um, like coincide with each other, right? And at least of our freakiness of ability with so many people, right? 60-year-olds doing muscle ups at the CrossFit games. That would not happen if there was no competition inside of this methodology,
Mhm.
right? And so
Yeah.
I think it will for sure be okay in the sense. I just hope that there's, based on our conversation for 36 minutes, I hope that there's an open indefinitely moving forward. And I hope that there's still a lot of education moving forward.
Yep.
Um,
Key
so
pieces of it. And speaking of the 60 plus year olds and so on doing muscle ups, that was like such a fun thing about being at the age group games, was getting to do the athlete interviews and just hear their stories behind the years that they maybe they achieved them at one point, whether it was muscle ups or some other skill or weight or whatever, and then they aged and just started to feel as though they didn't have access to that anymore. They lost the skill, whatever. But then because of qualifying for this event, they had to get those skills back, right?
right,
And so there's that competitive side giving them access. And so I remember at least like one woman saying it had been 9 years since the last time she had done a muscle up, but then she got 13 in the workout, I think,
right.
and so, and that was off of like 6 weeks of doing the skill course that you guys offer, is my understanding. But
Yep.
either way, like, she regained that much
Yeah.
later in life.
Yeah. I think it was like 1 week.
Till she got one back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just know she hit 13 in the workout 6 weeks
So
later.
James, is that the goal? Is that the goal? So I think the methodology is beautiful, right? It's complete. But I do think Greg missed one piece, and it's that competition and the sport was able to drive CrossFit forward from this is really fucking cool and this methodology really, really works, right? It was the unintentional success driver that Greg didn't want to admit seeing, in my opinion, right? CrossFit would not have been this worldwide phenomenon without the sport. Not a chance. Not a chance in hell. And it's not solely based on it. The methodology will live on, but it will shrink if there is no sport. And so, right, expected everyone just to do this for health alone. And that's insane. If that was the case, everyone, like, vanity is real. All right, let's just fucking be clear. Okay, like, vanity is real. It's a thing, right? Like, you want to be cool and do cool shit, right? Not everyone just wants to have great health markers. Okay. And so
You're
you
saying
can't,
egos exist?
huh? Yeah,
You're saying
exactly.
egos
And
exist?
and
Wild thought.
exactly. And it's okay, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? But I do think that people that say that the sport is hurting CrossFit they're just blind and they want to be this purist. And I think that's like we need those people too to kind of rein us back in. But the sport is what pushed it to this. It's the only reason there's a podcast about it, right? A lot of podcasts and millions of views. No one would fucking watch CrossFit
15.6
on
in 1
YouTube.
month.
Huh?
I said 15.6 million
Right.
in 1 month.
No one would watch CrossFit YouTube if it was just what it looked like, how Greg intended it initially. No one would watch that. No one would care, right? It just wouldn't be the same. And so finding that that intertwined relationship is really key. And so the sport is what was able to give Greg hundreds of millions of dollars, you know? And so, but I also think that the sport, like there's a balance point, right? We for sure we tipped way back, and now we're still in this rebuilding
We're in a
situation.
beautiful place right now.
Yeah. And so we're trying to find our voice again. And I think we're moving in the right direction. But I think everyone that's convinced or that says that we don't need the open or that the sport is hurting the methodology, I think I think you're blind, right? Like, you don't have to like the sport, but you have to know that it is a reason why a lot of people are in your gym in some like grapevine capacity, right? Like down the telephone game, right? Like just down the stream somewhere, they came in, right? And so it's from someone that's drank the Kool-Aid and does the open, and not everybody, but I think it's a lot. Yeah.
I agree. Judy Reed, this is just a cool comment that her daughter got her first muscle up, and she shouted that she got it before the open.
That's because she worked on it. She probably did a WODprep course. I'm just kidding. She probably didn't. But if she did, she would have got it too. Yeah. So anyways, I mean, I've said this a gazillion times on this show, but I think they're really important going together. And I hope that whatever happens is education continues to be at the forefront or becomes back to the forefront more.
Yeah.
And, the sport, like the sport lives on. This is true. Sean, we should just remove all of our YouTube stuff and say, all right, you know what, fuckers, all of you freeloaders that have been, guys, I can't even count how many people came up to us at the CrossFit Games that were competing in lower age groups, not just this, like our bread and butter is like 55, 60, 65, 70 female. Like that's our thing, right? But so many like European and like South American males came up to Ben and was like, Jutami double unders. And it was just like, awesome. And like when
it is awesome.
10 years ago, that's amazing. Great. Do you have WODprep Academy? No, I bought one course. So, okay, great. So 10 years ago, we improved your CrossFit career and you've paid us a total of $200. God, we suck. We fucked up. We fucked up so much. Or you've
man.
taught me every gymnastic skill that I have, and it's like awesome. But I never bought a course. We're so thankful for that. We got to work on it. No, you give 99% away, and you charge for 1%. Sure. So, right, Aaron, I agree. Right, but a lot of the people in there, and again, and this is the argument that I have. It's like, oh, my gym doesn't do it. Right, that's gym culture. Right, from the owner, top down. I think that's a top down culture problem, and I think that is a problem. I don't think that's a good thing.
Right.
Right, um, and so not saying that your gym isn't successful or anything in that. Everyone has their own culture, right? But I do believe that your gym started through the concept of the open in some capacity at some point in time, however many years ago that it started. Um, and I think the open is vital to continue the CrossFit name um, in this light, right? Like if there was no open, we wouldn't like again, we wouldn't have like all these people wouldn't have learned muscle ups. Like why would we even want to just swing on the ring just because it was programmed on there? So yeah.
Yeah, Tristan's comment here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Aaron, it's because the owners and coaches are fired up.
Right.
Aren't fired up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, like the 4 out of 150, I was going to say, like, if he even would be willing to elaborate, like, why does he think that is? And then obviously, like, I'm with you. I mean, if your ownership is pushing it and explaining what the benefit of it is to you, then you're probably signing up.
Right. Yeah. CrossFit. It's the open creates what Greg didn't intend for CrossFit, right? Because the sport has specificity, even if it's like random, it still has specificity. So it's against the methodology just in nature because you have an idea of generally what it's going to be, but it allows structure, some structure, right? It's not just GPP all the time, right? It's not just like functional movements, high intensity across modal domains all the time. Like there's some structure, which is against like the L1 at its framework, but I think that's okay, right? Like it kind of progresses and it gives people something to work for. It's like, oh, I really want to squat more, right? Because it's going to help my clean, which will help me do well in this, and then in this, and then in this, and then in this, right? Like when you can create an endpoint, right? Like a training deadline, I think that's people like that, right? So yeah. Right. All right. What's next? I kind of have to be off by like 8:05,
Okay.
8:10.
Okay. Well, you definitely, I mentioned the whole Colton talking about Hiller's, I think it was in the Q&A that he did in his stories, and about reaching full genetic potential versus the psychological tolerance limit.
All right. 32 mark. Let me pull it up.
Oh, okay. I did send you a timestamp, or you found it. Either way. Hell yeah.
We'll get there. All right. So, this is also something. Do you know? I don't know what the black block model means. I hear it all the time, and like I'm like, oh, okay, but I don't know. Do you know what it means? I have no idea like what the definition of it means. People use it a lot right now.
No.
Aaron, do you feel this is a great question? Great follow up. Just sold it. Do you feel the gym morale in the last 2 years is dwindling? Is the gym thriving? Are you growing? Or is it just sort of stagnant? That's probably a great question follow up to really define if the open is beneficial or something. You know what I mean? Okay. Title that. Let's go here. Share screen.
That's exciting. Sold to another member in the past 2 months who is much more fired up. That's awesome.
Yep. Okay.
But that sign up will look different next year.
I'm maxed out. I absolutely can't go any harder. Or I can, but it's only at competitions, or I can, but it's only once a week, or I can, but it's only once a day. Then that becomes your new normal. You kind of reset, and it's like that over and over again. And that Andrew posted a video, whatever. He's like, I know it was on his stories. And somebody asked him something about like his time competing, and if he's like, I can't remember what they asked. I remember he said it was something around like if he was happy with it or satisfied with it or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I reached my genetic limit. I remember my first thought was like, no, you reached your psychological tolerance.
Oh, interesting.
Like you think you're at the 10th floor of intensity of a 10th floor building, but you don't know it's a 50 floor building. You just don't know about those other floors. So that's kind of the mindset that I try to have, and like my body eventually will adapt to the intensity over time and be able to handle it. Like if you don't go super hard and then all of a sudden you do, your body's not ready for it. But over weeks and months, it can adapt to it, and mentally it's the same thing.
Hey, that adaptation is kind of the crazy thing about sports, because like you can do skill acquisition. Like I can be like, hey, there's going to be triple unders, and then you can be like, okay, I'm going to practice them for 10 minutes every single day, and in 30 days you get them. But some of the shit that you're going for takes years of do it, then sleep, do it, and then.
Cool. Yeah. What do you think?
I like Colton's perspective about the psychological tolerance because it gives you an opportunity to like take a look at that for yourself.
For sure. Right. I think it's important to have that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think there's no other way to have the mindset, right? Because you'll create self-imposed limits that probably don't exist.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But at the same time, there is a reality there somewhere. You just can't, as an athlete, like you can't assume it's real. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you can't assume it's real. I don't think Colton has hit his genetic potential for sure. I don't know if anyone in CrossFit truly reaches their genetic potential, right? And I think so. Like Aaron's question is this, and this is like sort of where it goes. I don't know. I mean, obviously Colton is getting more fit, right? And if you listen to his follow up from the games that night when they had him at Savan and they talked for a while, they were talking about basically like his intensity, like in the volume that he does.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I don't know. It's weird, right? Like he says that Joey, and they're working and they're getting fitter and their runs are better and their weaknesses are getting stronger. And so it does seem like everything is moving in the right direction. But then when it comes down to it, you know what I mean? Like programming still like crushes him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I always question that mindset of, like, oh, I can only go hard here. Oh, can only go hard on a day or in this one piece. Is his like intensity? This is like kind of moving away just from the overall idea of it. Is his intensity too high? Right? Is he if you train with that much intensity for that long, right? Then like, is your new normal 90% of what your 100% is? And me and Tristan were talking about this, and if I ever get Tristan on, it's basically like a sprinter's mindset. Usain Bolt never trains tired, right? You can't learn to sprint faster if you're always tired. Then you're going to teach yourself to run at 90% effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
You teach yourself to run slower. If you're always running under a lot of fatigue, do you ever actually express 100% effort in anything, right? Now, our sport is the sport of compromise, right? Like that's what it is. It's no, it wasn't Tristan. That wasn't at you. That was at me. That was at me being way overwhelmed with work and time. So I appreciate you. That wasn't a jab at you. That was a jab at myself. And so because we're a sport of compromise, it might be okay to be fatigued a lot and do everything under 100%. I don't know, right? Proven is obviously doing something unique in that sense. I can't imagine that Colton is training harder than he trained when he was on his own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like maybe it's just smarter. I don't know. God, CrossFit, dude. You are just, dude, 100% knows. He knows that book is fucking, where is it? Oh, it's under, but it's right down there. It's crazy. So like, it's just some of the things like that's a really, really, really niche programming concept, right? Of training athletes and knowing who fuck Charlie Francis is, which was Ben Johnson's coach in the 80s and 90s, sprinter coach out of Canada. And so it's, yeah, always mind blowing, like the range. We're talking Swiss Army knives or specialized devices. Exactly right. So, this is like to Tristan and maybe even CrossFit. Is it okay to have that intensity all the time, right? Because it doesn't matter if you're the best at one thing. It's if you're really good at a lot of things, and to be really good at a lot of things, you have to put in a lot of effort everywhere. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like walking back a lot of my programming thoughts, maybe not walking back, but like really questioning them on like intensity and mixed training way more often throughout the year than going into like, I call it like the puzzle. Like when you put a puzzle together, you do like the corners first and the border, and then like color chunks throughout it, right? You're like, oh, these colors go here, these colors go here.
Yeah.
Training is sort of like that. Like early in the season, everything is segmented and by itself, right? And then as the season comes together and the sport comes together, then everything starts to mix. And so it is, I'm questioning like, should we be doing mixed stuff all the time with more intensity? Is zone 2 really even that valuable if someone is, like, is it really valuable enough? I don't know.
Well, I think it depends on the individual and their goals too. I mean, that is like, doing a lot of zone 2 work obviously requires a lot of time. And so the average CrossFitter just like wants to do the minimum effective dose, right? And thankfully, like that's been beautifully laid out. Now it's different when you take it to sport level, obviously. But also that's one of the themes that I heard a ton at the age group games was just like the minimum effective dose, because we are navigating these humans with all of these life stressors. They are further progressed in their life. They have children or grandchildren, and or whatever, and then they have whatever job stresses, and then literally their age and so on. And so like you guys, a lot of it was, how can we do the least to get the desired result, right? Versus this younger Colton athlete where it's not necessarily the same.
Right.
So
yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of nuance, like within that conversation based on who the person is on the other side of that conversation. Right. So when we have that conversation, I just try to think of someone with no limitations. Right. Like, cause I think like you want to put it in a vacuum, right? To like, just to have the conversation initially, because if you don't, then there's too many variables to even have the does that make sense? Right. It's like physics, right? Like physics only makes sense in a vacuum, right? To like conversate about like math, right? Like, as if it's not, then there's unaccounted for variables. And so in general, I think we like, okay, what is the best way when there's no limits? Right? Like they're going to recover enough. They're going to do these things. They're going to do all of this, right? Like they don't have any huge hole, and so you have to start there and then work its way around. Yeah, this is a great thing. A great concept. I mean, Adler clearly has lost like his strength and maybe even some of it in general. But it is, it's clear like there's a range, right? Like there's a range of like importance, etc. So you guys can be good sprinters, but to win it all, they don't. But if your cup is one thing so full, right? Oh, and this is for sure. This is the case, right? And this is like CrossFit. I mean, I guess cycling is the same way too. Like you have to be able to climb, you have to be able to sprint, right? And you have to be able to go long, and those all three sort of interfere with each other. CrossFit's the same way. Like if one cup is too full, then the other cups are going to be more empty, right? And so it's that balancing point. But does the balancing point, based on what I've heard, like Hopper talk about, and really Hopper and Colton, because I've heard them discuss their training publicly the most recently, is is that they do a lot of really, really high intensity.
Mm-hmm.
Hopper made it seems like it's a lot lower volume overall, but most pieces are at like uncomfortable and like nervous making intensity. Colton sounds like it's like that every piece, but like a lot of pieces throughout the day, right? And so I don't know.
Well, and I think you could apply this to like medicine, right? Like the workout is the medicine, and so you titrate the dose based on the desired result, you know. So like yet again, for these athletes, they plan to go do these competitions, and they're going to take a number of days, and it's going to. So for them, the gradual titration of like being able to tolerate more volume with intensity, and so there's a lot of individualization, I would assume, to like how one individual tolerates that and can retain that intensity and the pace at which you increase that, right? But then bringing it back to the everyday affiliate member, you know, like minimum effective dose is still really effective.
Right. Oh, for sure. I think it is. Chris, which WOD Science video? I'm not sure which one you're referencing. And yeah, man, I don't know. I'm just like always on the fence about it. You know, but I do think this conversation really only applies at the highest level. 100%. I have so much imposter syndrome. It's crazy.
Which is so wild. Just, I mean, for the amount of, I think that was one of the also fun things about being at the age group games with you guys was it gives me an opportunity. Because I mean, I've known of you for a while, but then just to when in those conversations, I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, oh, he's been around for a while and really been coaching these athletes for so long. And I guess it was just fun to observe close proximity.
Well, thank you. I think that was a compliment.
Yeah, sure. You're still here.
Yeah.
That's a compliment.
I technically would be you're still here, right? You didn't leave. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just part of the game, right? To go through that. But even this conversation is specifically to like the highest level athletes.
Ooh,
Everyone
hold on.
else. Huh?
Okay, wait. So Tristan says we all do, dog. We all do. So then I'm curious because I am a big fan of not being so self-reliant. It's something I work on. So then for you guys as coaches, programmers, all of that, like for these athletes that are at this high level, right? Then how much do you talk this stuff out with other people? How much of this do you frequently rely on?
Not enough. Yeah, not enough, right? Like me and Tristan talk about it a little bit. I think we both would like to have like more open conversations, but the space is really weird.
So yeah, define not enough, because not enough is very subject. I don't know what to do with that. What does that look like?
Yeah, like it's like, so with me specifically, I would love to have like an hour-long call weekly
With
like
bunch
the
of
people
different.
I know, right? And just like, what are the topics, etc. My struggle point is time, right? And then with the people that I would do it with, besides maybe Tristan, I overrun the conversation like with my coaches, right? Like I try to get them to talk, and then sort of. It's just it's a weird thing that people just won't talk about. Like I want to pick Proven in Mayhem's brains a lot, right? And some people, they just don't, like, I mean, it doesn't really, I don't know. Some people don't feel like it benefits them to like have those conversations with other people.
Well, one great thing about, Proven does put out a lot more content, and they seem to be intentionally. So I'm not saying it's super deep or a ton, but they are giving more access to Shane's mind in those videos than they would have done historically. So you can access it through that, even though it's not a direct conversation.
Right, 100%. And based on the few videos leading up to the games and things, like, I mean, Colton and Tia both said that they were like in the 7 to 8 piece a day thing. And I'm just like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah.
Because that makes no physiological or training principles sense at all.
But did they
Right,
titrate the dose gradually enough that it worked for their body? I mean,
sure. Well, they had to have, right? Because they did well, right? But like that's like I want to know. I just want to see it. I don't even need to talk to people about it. I just want to see it. All I
Yeah.
got to do,
yeah.
is
Judy, I like how
dig
you
into
picked
it.
Taylor's brain on Sentinel. And I thought one of the cool things that Taylor mentioned there too was just like the amount of respect that he has for JR. And it seems like he has a very open dialogue there. So similar to maybe CJ, you and Tristan right now seem to be open to conversing about it, but
Yeah.
they're, broadening that. Yeah. And the idea that programming is always evolving and never perfect is then, I don't know, it kind of, you still want to do the best you possibly can. And somehow for me, that takes the pressure off to some degree, but I don't know if that's the approach that you would care to have.
Yeah, it's this statement from Sean, coaching in CrossFit seems different. Coaching training seems like hush hush. And I think it's just the byproduct of the fact that it's unknown and unknowable, right? And because of that, you certainly can have an advantage if you're more prepared, right? Because you don't know what the test is going to be. But in football or basketball, the stimulus, the needs, the requirements of the athletes from a physiological standpoint are identical to everybody, and there's no differences, right? And they do whatever that floating sumo deadlift thing that LeBron was doing a few weeks ago. And so, yeah.
What did you just call
Dude, did you not see the video?
it? I saw the video.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it was. So
Sumo floating deadlift.
it was he did a little hip thrust.
Yeah, I don't
And
know
like
what
swung
happened.
around. And it's funny, that guy that that coaches him is, deemed the number one like trainer, whatever, strength coach, whatever, however you want to define it, like in our entire space.
I think it's been a beautiful opportunity for me to move to Austin, Texas, which is a fitness mecca, and observe a wide range.
Yep.
It has given me a whole other appreciation for CrossFit.
For sure. 100%. Kyle, yeah, all of these are interesting, right? Like,
well, and I'm curious with that though. What, like, how much different, I guess.
So if you look at their CrossFit based program, right?
Okay.
Like if you assume like all of their CrossFit based program, right? If Mayhem Athlete runs through roughly like a full Bergener weightlifting cycle at all times, which is kind of crazy. It's a lot. HWPO runs through a catalyst cycle at all times. Proven doesn't. Proven doesn't do weightlifting cycles as the base. And it is it's very they are very different. HWPO doesn't do a lot of CrossFit. They do a lot of intervals and EMOMs and things like that. Mayhem does a lot of CrossFit. It used to be a lot different. Mayhem used to just basically do like a full weightlifting cycle, and then their second session would just be like competition workouts. And it would do that like a lot of the year, and it's changed a lot. Proven does a lot of CrossFit pieces, very similar to old school Misfit, if like I remember correctly, the couple of times I've looked at it, where it's like 4 or 5 like a lift, maybe like an accessory, and then like conditioning piece, EMOM piece, technique, accessory, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's like the whole part of defining piece is very interesting. Like, what does that look like? Like Tia and Colton claiming 8 pieces or whatever it is. Like, what does that look like, right? Like, what are those things? How intense are they? Are there long pieces? Are there short pieces, et cetera? And then the couple times, it just depends on what HWPO. I've actually never seen I have seen their compete once, but it's all weightlifting heavy, right? Like very weightlifting heavy. And so I think there's interesting, like when you have that much weightlifting, like a Bergener or a Catalyst as like the primary of your training, like you start running out of room, like just within the day, maybe time, but for sure within recovery, right? Like if you do snatch, clean and jerk pulls, like some form and squatting, right? I mean,
Right.
like it's a lot of volume, it's a lot of fatigue before you even hit anything intense, right? And so I think that's where HWPO maybe misses. It seems like that's where Jason felt most crushed by it, was because the weightlifting was so high. So, yeah, it's, yeah, I mean, I'd like to look at them now, like even just like pull up a day, each one. Yeah.
Each different training camp.
Yeah. Each different training camp, a day, and put them side by side.
Don't you think you would need to put like a week, at least one full week by one full week, not
Well, you can
necessarily a
just look
day?
at, you can just look at like the flow of the day, like just in general. Like you could put a day, like obviously the week plays it out a little bit more, but
Yeah.
everyone, like each day usually has the same flow, right? Like of how they're put together. A lot of people don't undulate the week, right? Where it's like Monday's a really high day, then Tuesday's a low day. Like at least from what I've seen, a lot of them have very similar days. Like they're not undulating. Like they're not having like a big CNS day and then like a lower gymnastics volume day or something like that. Like we did that. We've done that at WODprep, and I've seen that at like CrossFit, at like Soul programming, and some of the maybe the smaller ones. But I haven't noticed it when I've like perused through the big programs. So, but again, I don't, I don't look every single day. So we program 7 days for our affiliate because some people want something on the weekends. I think you should, if you're doing affiliate programming, you need 7 days of programming because people move and people are different, etc. That's like a totally different topic. I don't want to get off.
Did you see that last comment that I pulled up about the affiliate
I'm sorry.
doing? It's okay. And it was a little while ago, but so my gym follows CrossFit HQ programming. How do you feel about that?
I assume that's cap. So what I've learned is that there's two styles of programming, right? And for everyone here, it's Taylor or JR. Okay. JR wants 60 minutes full, filled, and he's substantially less worried about teaching and like coaching and all of those things. He wants everyone to get a full 60 minutes, and he dies on that hill, right? Look at We Prefer the Hate. It's fucking crazy. Okay. It's fun, super fun.
Yeah, but very little room for coaching.
Very little room for coaching.
Okay.
Taylor,
I have not looked at it.
Taylor will for sure run a 1-1-1-1 and fill 60 minutes of coaching for snatching, right? And so you have to know what your gym wants, okay? Like I mentor a couple gym owners that were like athletes of mine, and so we go through programming, and like they bounced around a lot over the years. Some landed on Mayhem because that's what the gym likes the most. Others landed on Cap, and one even thinks Cap is a lot for her gym because that's how low level her gym is, right? Like as far as like how much teaching time it allows, et cetera, right? So you just have to know where your gym is. I don't think there's a right and wrong way to program affiliate, right? I would say I lean for sure probably in the middle of them somewhere, right? Personally, of like what I'm looking for. I think you should do some form of breathing every day in an affiliate design, right? Like I think when people go so deep into like the methodology, right? Like in the true L1 and how to break down an affiliate design, and you see like 1-1-1-1, people just aren't, no matter how well you teach that, the class is just not going to be that happy and satisfied, mainly because some of them are so low level that 1-1-1-1 is like at an empty fucking barbell. And so that person, you could drill them all day, but they're either going to do 150 snatches in that 6 minutes, or they're going to feel slighted. You know what I mean? Right. And so that's like just my personal opinion there, that I think some conditioning should be done pretty much every day in an affiliate, because that's what we've come to expect. And it doesn't have to be hard, right? Like you don't have to go hard every day or whatever it is. But I think when you move away, or you just do like lunges and RDLs or like reverse lunge for strength, RDL, and some like accessory shoulder work, right? Even if it's a full day, like a lot of people are going to be kind of annoyed, right? And you just have to know the pulse of your gym, right? And so some gyms are okay with that, and that's great. And then, but from what I've and the experience I've had, I don't think most people are coming to the CrossFit gym for that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's tough because you do want to like please the consumer, but at the end of the day, you also want to provide for them the product that you feel is going to be most advantageous to them or whatever, like your flavor. And so making them understand why you think that's the best plan for them.
Right. Yeah, but
Making
100%.
them, helping them,
Yeah,
working together
100%.
with
But
them.
buy-in is as important as
Sure.
the effectiveness of the plan, if
Yeah.
not more.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
if they're bored and they're annoyed and there's not a great communication line or a great like reasoning or whatever it is, it won't go well, right? Exactly. Like I think cap is great, right? But if you've done mayhem or proven or misfit or
It's
someone
an
like that for
adjustment.
years, oh
Mhm.
my God, they're gonna be
Mhm.
like, we didn't do anything today.
Yeah. Well, and by then you think about titrate the dose. You've already titrated up. Like you're already
Right.
acclimated to that higher volume.
Right. 100%.
But I do love the space for coaching too, especially for the general person coming into the gym. Like we're not talking about the competitive athlete that generally has really, well-oiled movement patterns, whatever.
Sure.
And so for them, like they do need a lot of support. And anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Sick.
Hey, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time, I'll do that
Oh,
head
yeah.
to head on the Glinton Things channel.
I love it. We'll be there.
It'll be fun.
We'll be there for sure.
Yeah, I'll figure out my internet.
All right. Awesome.
Cool.
Talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you. Good to see you guys.